angle I'm going for. Oh, that just took me forever. Check me out in all red. Because I'm in love? No, I'm not. Well, I could be. No, I'm not. But I did pick red for a reason, so... I was really excited because... I'm going to tell you the whole story, but I've just been training. Yes, my hair's looking a bit fuzzy. I'm probably going to wash it after this. However, I think I'm going to have a guess, maybe. So, what I wanted to jump on to today was... basically, I'm definitely living proof, and I'm definitely here to tell you guys the story that you need to put your thoughts and what you want to happen out there. What was the title I was trying to think of? Like, oh, okay. Basically, I've got lots of little titles that, because I'm so excited to get to you guys and talk, I've actually got a lot of YouTube titles, and I was like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Seeing and knowing and saying what you want, like speaking it into existence, it comes. Obviously, I do think another thing I'm going to talk to you about is energy. Like, I think that's such an important, like one of the main things, how you attract people, how you feel good, like it's the energy. And yes, some people's energies are different to others, but I definitely think there's certain ways that you can conjure up, even if you don't feel great, you can build the particles and the bubbles within you to be energized, for sure. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. So, and it's so crazy because literally yesterday, before I went to the gym, that was the, oh my gosh, I definitely need to talk about this one tomorrow. And then even more things happened. So I went to the gym, I hung out with a new friend who I've met, and went to his place, just takeaway, chill. And then he just put this book in my hand, and he was like, he didn't even say anything, he just put it down. And like, I didn't even say, do I read? We've probably mentioned it in the past, but he literally just fling it at me. Like, and if you know, the book is called Find Your Why. And I feel like I know my why. Like, I know what I want to share to the world and how I want to impact others. And I know like what I can do in terms of like the basic foundations of, obviously I coach, but I'm very much physical and mental coach at the same time, because I'm just here to make people feel amazing within themselves and to know that they are just amazing. Anyways, so I think that's really important for people to actually be pushed in their physical. Like, you've got to feel great. There's no point saying, oh, you're doing this wrong. This is like, if you're just hearing negatives all the time, how does that help? It's like when you worry, how does that help? It doesn't. Like, just tell me what you want to be right and let's get it right. That's how I work. The book is called Finding Your Why. I have the ballpoint idea and like lots of surrounding things that could potentially happen. But I feel like because I want to make such a big impact to people, I haven't figured out the small steps to get there. I just know of the vision of like how other people have achieved big things with big impacts, writing a book, doing a podcast, social media, YouTube. So this book they have another one, which is not Finding Your Why. It must be like Start With Why. So I feel like I haven't read that book, but I feel like the Start With Why, I'm there. But this book, I've only read the the first part, and I think they're literally going to help you with guidance, with an action plan, I think. So this is going to be so beneficial because, first of all, we're talking about things into existence. Like, you guys know, one of my main things to traveling this year was I wanted to meet people. Like, I would love a partner. I love love. I have loads of energy. I'd love to experience the world with somebody. And recently I've met 2 people and they're both great. And so that's happening. And even when I was in Dubai and in Australia, I've been meeting amazing people, but they haven't necessarily been the one. But for me, I'm not really, normally I'm just doing my day to day, and randomly, obviously, yes, I've had partners in the past, but it hasn't come as quick as like, oh, here's one. Do you know what I mean? But that's because I've said that's what I'm looking for. I've spoken with it to my friends. I've said it on social media. It puts it at the forefront of the mind, but it's not the only thing at the forefront of my mind. But boom, that's one example. What's another one? I said I was going to travel at Christmas, before I left my parents' house. I was like, in my head, I was like, I would love to travel the whole year. I was like, and thinking, it would be great if I make it to 6 months. We easily made it to 6 months. And I kept saying, and if people ask me, I'm still, now, obviously the 6 months has passed. I'm still out and about. I'm in Bali. So, now all I say to people is, I'm going to make it till Christmas. Like, where they're like, oh, what are you doing this year? Like, what's the plans? I'm like, well, I plan to keep traveling until Christmas. Or I might not settle down somewhere, but I might be somewhere a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like Australia, I did not plan to be there for 3 months, but anyways, that happened. Another story. Even I jump on Zoom with one of my best friends, Casey, and we have we've known each other since school actually, and we have such a good, healthy, like, go get your goals friendship. Like, actually, I feel like all my good girlfriends, and you should definitely make sure your friendship group and people that you're with align with your feelings, how you like to attack the world. Like, we don't get on the phone and talk about people or gossip. We are talking about our business, our goals, what's next. What would you think about this name? Should I do this? Just popping out crazy ideas. Oh, book. And then Casey will come back to me with, but yeah, you want to explain this and that sounds amazing. And yeah, that's so you. I think that's an amazing idea. But how's that going to help people? Like, how are they going to, like, you telling your story, and she gives me thoughts that I can then go home and not go home. I can then sit with myself, be with myself. That can be ticking in my mind. And it's such a good two-way, how the why and the impact of what you want to pursue with you. It also was saying all that stuff to Casey. So I was like literally snapshot in the book. Yeah, I just think it's amazing that I was speaking to her on Zoom. We're just putting out ideas. They don't even really come to much. I just know, like, popping out words, and then she'll come back and the conversation will start. And then I ended up hanging out with my new friend, and even with him, he's like, okay, what do you want to do? And like, I am still struggling to kind of put it into words and like action. And maybe it's because he heard me say that he gave me the book. And then he gave me the book. Like, what is the odds that everything we were just talking about in the Zoom, and the fact that I've met this guy, and that he's on that same sort of frequency wave, like go-getter, putting things into action, getting it done, having the right circle. And then he gives me the book, and I've only read the forward bit. So I haven't even got into the book, and I'm already like, this is going to be my book. Because, yeah, I have found in the past you buy books, and I'm like, this is really not what I need right now. And like that, when you put it out there, the right things, you won't have to go looking. They just plonk in your lap. You just put it in my hand. So I'm really excited to get my knuckles into that, read that, and hopefully with what I've learned, I can then pass it on to you. But from pure, just absolute experience for myself, just speaking it out loud. There's no point you just having these ideas ticking away in your head. And even if you feel silly, like me going around saying, yeah, this year I want to find my husband. It's a bit brave. It's a bit much. I want to find somebody who I can, spend the rest of my life with, have adventures with. But to most people, that's probably quite scary. And for me to be right in front of guys, like at a new table, like, yeah, I'm looking to find my husband. Like, F it. Just, let's go. That was one bonkers thing that I was just putting out there. And now I just know, like, with my everything I have to offer. Even today, I was at a little smoothie shop by the Bali MMA. And again, he's probably thinking I'm talking absolute rubbish. He's asking me like what I want to do. I'm kind of bouncing about, probably talking rubbish, but that's the stage that I'm at. And it's fine to be like that. Just speak as much of new words, of ideas with your friends out into the world. I would love to speak to the masses and do something a little bit more. Anyways, so I'm speaking it out into existence. I'm doing what I'm telling you. I hope you've enjoyed the chat. It was probably here, there and everywhere. I hope you got the gist, and have a beautiful day. Bye guys.